What's poppin', y'all? There are certain moments where you get such secondhand embarrassments that you just thank God that not only are you not this individual, but you are nowhere near this individual. And that is with DDG's current girl, ex-girl, whatever the case may be, India Love, who decided to not crash the Streamer Awards, but she decided to crash out at the Streamer Awards. And I'm gonna play you guys this clip right now.
Breakout Streamer of the Year went to Adapt. And congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai and shout out blah, 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 blah.
So this chick thinks she's having her yay moment at the Taylor Swift MTV VMAs. She's going up on stage. Keep in mind, what she's talking about is the Streamer Awards. It's like this annual thing that was originally hosted by Cutie Cinderella, the girlfriend of Ludwig, a really popular streamer. But honestly, she was popping. She had motion on Twitch before he did, really, and she was more well-connected. However, the past several years, Twitch has kind of gotten behind her award show, which was originally just something that she ran. And the category that India Love is talking about here is Best Breakout Streamer. And the people in that category were the following. Vanilla Mace, who was not going to win this, especially after the issues that Vanilla Mace had with Cutie Cinderella. We've covered that before, but frankly, you shouldn't care about this. Rakai, who, yeah, he did break out this year, but I feel like he broke out a little bit more last year. Regardless, this guy is downstream from Kai Cenat, so how much did he really break out on his own? DDG, who has been having an insane year, FaZe Adapt, and Wendy Ortiz. Now, Wendy Ortiz, I do think she's had one hell of a run this year. However, she has not put in the effort like these other guys have, or these other people have, for an extended amount of time, and she's downstream from DDG. So if you put Wendy Ortiz on there, you have to put DDG on there. Or you can't have her win and not DDG. That's ridiculous, because she's the product of DDG on Twitch, at least. She was big on TikTok, yeah, but DDG brought her on Twitch. He collaborated with her when he was going crazy, which he still is going crazy on Twitch. But DDG's had several big events. Like, he had that Are You My Ball show. He had multiple different trips. Like, he had the Hawaii trip with Wendy Ortiz. He was just everywhere. He had the hit-a-thon. He had making an album in 24 hours. Like, this guy's done so much this year that, frankly, I kind of agree with India Love that DDG should have won, but Rakai, why the hell should Rakai win? This guy was an accessory, not an accessory. He was a character on Mafiathon 3, which is one of the biggest events. Like, nobody that's, I don't want to say clout leeching, because that's not the truth. This dude Rakai does work hard on stream, on his own stream, but he doesn't compare to a DDG or an Adapt. An Adapt, I think they're just more friends with an Adapt. And an Adapt has done a lot. You got to think, Adapt is having a renaissance of his career. Like, he was a YouTuber for the majority of his career, and then he switched to streaming, and he survived several, maybe damn near a dozen iterations of FaZe Clan to get to the point now where he is just as relevant, because people care a lot about that, and you have to care about being relevant if you're an entertainer like Adapt. He's just as relevant now as he was back then, which is very, very impressive. He's done a lot as well this year. Now, if we're talking just streamer, so it doesn't count outside content. I would personally still have DDG win, but Adapt, I'm not mad at it. If Rakai won, I'd be like, yo, what? Over DDG, huh? But this chick, clearly, she messes with DDG, but she just goes on stage, tasteless, disgusting behavior. She's getting booed, which she deserves to get booed. It's like, what the hell are you doing on there? You're lucky to even be at the event. She's barely a streamer. And then, how does she react to this whole situation? Well, before she gets home, she reacts in this clip, which I'm going to play you guys right now.
Boss, when I make mistakes, like God doesn't do that. But I want you guys to just be a part of my journey, because it's a journey, and I am okay with showcasing my ups and downs, and it's okay, but that's what I want to do. So January 3rd, no weed, no alcohol. So that's just what that is. Until then, I will learn my boundaries. until January 3rd, I will learn my boundaries of like how many drinks does it take to get with me type shit, you know? So God is really watching me closely, like really closely.
If this is, it's one of the funniest things. Like, if atheists wanted to recruit people, this is better than any logical argument or debate they could even try to make. Just throw clips of people like India Love talking about God. Throw clips of any reformed, quote unquote, harlot or somebody whose behavior is consistently terrible, and have them talk about God and how like God doesn't make mistakes and all this other stuff. That'll turn people away from religion real quick. That you start thinking like, damn, like this, I'm worshiping the same thing as this individual. This individual's led into the fold with me. Damn, I might have to start reconsidering. What the hell is this? We gotta have some standards before getting up in here. So India Love here is talking about God doesn't make mistakes. You are making mistakes. What are you talking? Please leave God out of these conversations. Like that's the best thing that you can do. Leave God out of these conversations. And then she's talking about mistakes. She's 30 years old. Is she 30 years old yet? Yeah, she's 29, 30. She's going to be 30 in a couple of months. And it's not the fact that she's just 30, right? It's the fact that she has been in entertainment and in the limelight for over a decade. So she's had 12 years to learn how to behave. It's not like we take a random 29-year-old woman who's been, let's just say like a nurse, right? Her entire adult life. And then we throw her into entertainment. And then, maybe she's getting a little bit drunk. She's just messing up. Because by 29, if a girl drinks, she knows when not to drink too much and when to behave like this. Also, if they get drunk, they probably, I think it's depending on who, because people react to liquor differently. But if this happens to someone new, then you can say, oh, okay, this person's new. They don't really know how to act. But going up on stage and saying something like that, like this is wrong behavior. You can't excuse this in any type of context. And she's talking about, yeah, I'm trying to get better. Oh, we just saw her like several weeks ago doing the same thing, talking about when she was with one of her friends or something, and she was like, oh yeah, I was just drinking a little bit too much. Like, you're still down in the liquor like that? Like, come on. You could have left that. And India Love was not someone that started drinking once she turned 21. She was hitting the bottle before that. She was doing club hostings at like 18. Come on now. You're telling me she wasn't down in any drink? And what's the funniest part about this? She says... It's like the diet starts tomorrow meme. January 3rd. So she's still got about a month, y'all. 4 weeks before she stops with the alcohol. And then, and then she's talking about, she's going to learn her about... She's not going to learn. Also, she looks like a completely different human being here. I don't mean that derogatorily, of course. It's like a completely different person from here than from her stream, than from her photos. I think here's where she looks the most different in this clip. But yeah, she's talking about, I need to learn my boundaries. She's been drinking for a decade. There are no boundaries that are going to be learned here. Like, she needs to put the bottle down or she needs to stay home. Like, this is a lesson to anybody. Do not invite India Love out to an event where you want people to behave themselves and not be loud, rude, callous, insensitive, put themselves in the middle of everything. And if God is watching her closely, then frankly, honestly, God is not. God has smited her. That's what's happened. And then, so this is like just such a gross reply to something that just happened. No apology, just all about herself. Keep in mind, doesn't apologize to Adapt or Cutie Cinderella here. Like, you're taking away the guy's accomplishment. But after getting more and more and more hate, she hops on her own stream, and then she realizes, well, I don't think she realized, she just got a ton more hate. She's like, okay, I gotta quell this down, and I'm gonna play you guys this clip right now.
I want to apologize to QT. QT. What I did, first of all, I appreciate you inviting me, and there's no excuse for my behavior. It was very distasteful. It was very, like I keep saying, unnecessary. It was my initial emotion response, and that, again, I had no business being on that stage. As a person and who I am as a person, and I have to stop disappointing myself by repeating mistakes and keep repeating a cycle that's obviously not good for me. And I watched I watched something that said like your mistakes could either be a coffin or a classroom, and it could either teach you, or it could be the thing that takes you under and kills you, or and I'm a work in progress every day, and I have to understand what I did to the Twitch CEO, to just everybody. It was just so distasteful, and it is not who I am or what I should have did at all. I know what I have to do moving forward, when it comes to me as a person, what I can and can't do. And
so I'm not quite sure if the clip cuts out or in the beginning or something like that, and I'm not about to sit here and watch an India Love VOD. Are you out of your mind? You think I'm going to watch an India Love VOD? You're crazy. But she apologized to Cutie Cinderella. Where's the apology for Adapt? He's the guy whose accomplishment you just decided to toss out the window. Realistically, he should be getting an apology too. Granted, her apology is worthless because her behavior right at that moment and her behavior right after, it's indicative of who she is. That's it. She had no business. Not only did she have no business being on that stage, she had no business being at that event. And then she's talking about disappointing herself. Man, her mistakes are not only a coffin. She is 6 feet under in that coffin. There's soil that's fallen into the coffin. Just think of the self-care music video with Mac Miller. That's where she's at. Like, what are you talking about? There's no recovering. She has consistently made these mistakes just this year. How many times have we seen it happen? She's gotten a lot of hate for behavior like that at DDG's show, where a lot of his fans felt like she was ruining the environment and the experience, and a lot of the girls on that show felt like she was just being grimy with them as well. And then there was the incident a couple of weeks ago where she embarrassed DDG with her behavior. So frankly, India Love is a certain type of individual where, yeah, she's going to get lit, she's going to get turned up, and if you want that, like if you want her on a yacht stream, that makes sense. If you want her at a club, that makes sense. If you want her loud and entertaining and you want her, throwing her behind, that makes sense. But if you want her to sit down, smile, and just, behave like everybody else at a professional event, or not just a professional event, but to behave with some manners and dignity, you've sent her to the wrong place, especially when she's constantly hitting that bottle. So no, she will. We need her on a prediction market, right? Like, what's the over under on her doing something like this again? The fact that she said January 3rd, that's how you know this person doesn't take it seriously. I imagine you've got something that's ruining your reputation, ruining your life, and you're like, yo, I'm gonna just keep hitting this until January 3rd, y'all. And some of you are probably doing that. However, imagine it's public too. So you publicly embarrass yourself. There's something like if you're doing it on your own and, there's like that cycle of self-hate and guilt, that's one thing. But everybody knows about it and you're ruining your relationships in public and then you tell people in public, nah, January 3rd, everything's going to change. Man, I wish I could bet against you. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. India Love, this is disgusting behavior. But this is the thing. I don't expect any better. Now, I didn't expect this bad. Like, this is the first thing that India Love did where I was like, what the hell? That's a shock to me. It's like, well, not a shock. That's slightly surprising to me in a negative way, of course. All of her other behavior there was like quite consistent. But you're like, what does this chick think she is, Ye? And this is the thing. Ye, he's consistently doing stuff like this, but Ye's a genius. And Ye's produced product, and in terms of music, other things that were like, yeah, the product is hitting though. With India Love, what are you producing for us to be able to cope with the fact that you're behaving like this? I can't really think of anything. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.